What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. Today we have a lot of news. This will be following up to yesterday's news that we talked about, where we covered pretty much everything that you need to know in regard to Terminus Island, the early gameplay footage. There were 17 minutes of raw, uncut Black Ops 6 Zombies gameplay. So if you missed that, I'll have the link for that in the description. I'll also showcase some gameplay footage here while I cover the news. But if you find the video helpful or informative, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. So we're going to be talking about Liberty Falls. With the blog that we got yesterday, they didn't only cover Terminus Island, but they also did cover a little bit of Liberty Falls, which is the second round-based zombies map. I'm going to talk about that in just a second, but I do need to let you know of a couple of things. For example, the Reflect 115 animated camo is now available for all pre-orders. As long as you have pre-ordered Black Ops 6, you should now have it in your inventory. They did a playlist update after the whole gameplay trailer and the blog post dropped, and then they made it available for everyone. So if you have not checked, make sure you check. It should be over in your camo tab, and you will be able to use it on any of your weapons. It's still unclear as of right now if this will carry forward into Black Ops 6 or not, but you're definitely going to be able to use it in Warzone of Black Ops 6 and in MW3 multiplayer. But just want to let you guys know that that is now currently available. The next thing that we got a Black Ops 6 Zombies intel from the Treyarch dev team, which was around 2 minutes 50 something seconds. Just to summarize it for you, they talked about the zombie storyline, the characters, and the development. So for example, they said that the characters' personalities are now completely different. They were in prison for 5 years, they were tortured, and that caused a result of change, and now they're a little bit different, and you actually get to see that in the game within the storyline, how they communicate with each other, what relationships they now have, and how that is. And they also showed, I guess, a little bit of audio footage, which I'll go ahead and roll for you guys right now.
Those years behind the bars, feels good to get hands on again.
Pace yourself, Carver. I think we're just getting started.
Look alive, Gray.
As you heard from the audio footage, they do communicate a lot. Remember, at the same time, they didn't want to put any important audio logs to spoil the zombie storyline. So they're going to be saying some pretty crazy stuff. At the same time, the only way that you can hear these is going to be if you play as the dedicated crew, which is going to be an option. You can play as them, or you can play as your own operator. If you decide to play with your own operator, you're probably going to miss out on hearing some of this stuff, understanding a little bit more about the storyline, and maybe even miss out on some Easter eggs. But that's just pretty much what they talked about. And then they also mentioned that the entire goal of Black Ops 6 Zombies is for the crew to find Edward Richtofen and pretty much kill him and get revenge with Dr. Peck. Now, at the same time that this is going on, there is something else happening across the globe over in West Virginia, and that is with the second map that we have called Liberty Falls. Now, the description for it says, set in the Appalachian Mountains in West Virginia in a small town where an Aether incursion occurs. It has places like a bowling alley, comic shop, and more. It is a bright and sunny map which is easy to navigate, so it's pretty much the polar opposite of Terminus Island, which is a remote island. It's massive, it's a little bit complex based on the gameplay that we've seen, and it's super dark and foggy. We did get an early gameplay preview of Liberty Falls towards the end of the gameplay reveal trailer for round-based zombies, and it's around like 5 to 6 seconds long, and here's what the footage looks like. So it first starts off showcasing that it is a bright map. Majority of locations are on fire, buildings are destroyed, it's completely run down. The zombies have gotten through to it and absolutely destroyed everything. There's a couple of things you may not know from the gameplay preview. The first one is this map is a remake, or at least they're taking assets from the Rewind multiplayer map that's coming into Black Ops 6 multiplayer. This is the gameplay footage that they did show during the direct, where there was a comic strip, there's like a DVD store, there's like a superstore. It's just like a map that sort of curves, and there's like a plaza that just has a bunch of different stores. Now it expands beyond that, so the multiplayer map just stops at these stores in that plaza, but it goes on to a town, a track and field. It looks like maybe some sort of a school. There's a church involved, and the map is a little bit larger overall. I mean, it's pretty small for a zombies map according to what I've heard, but at the same exact time, it's a lot bigger than a multiplayer map. On top of this, there's a couple of interesting things. Some people are saying that this may actually end up being a remake of Transit, or at least some elements from Transit are going to be coming in, and there's just multiple different teasers proving that that is indeed the case. So first off, we already know they took elements from Rewind. It looks like they may have taken elements from these other maps. If you take a look here, Game Revolution posted that Liberty Falls is indeed a town remake from Transit. The recent teasers match up, and then you see right here from this photo, we did have a teaser where they showcased some zombies running around like a track and field, and there was like a broken down building, looked like some sort of a church or a building that was torn down, half of it was gone, and then they lined it up along with the buildings from town, and it actually looks like it matches up, so they may have taken some elements from that. And if you want even more proof of that, Mr. Ruffle Waffle ended up posting an 18-minute video of all the teasers that he's collected proving that Transit is coming in, and they actually get pretty crazy. It's seeming like they may end up not actually making a one-to-one, but they're going to be taking all the best features from it. They're going to be taking, I guess, for example, like the church, the town, some of the buildings. And the theory is that maybe Liberty Falls will be the pre-destructed version of Transit before the zombie horde completely destroyed everything, because right now we're catching it at the very start when the zombie incursion first appears. Maybe that one is years and years later, because obviously Black Ops 2 is set in like 2025, something like that if I'm not mistaken. Basically, we would be seeing a Transit 30 years earlier than that. This one's also a stretch, but since we're talking about remakes from past Zombies maps, we also have Buried. When you take a look at the team or whoever it was jumping into the Dark Aether portal, at first it starts upside down. You can see that they're falling. It looks like some sort of a church or older type of building, and then when you end up flipping it, so this is the flip version of the photo, it's starting to look a little bit more recognizable, and it looks like inside the church that we saw at Buried. And then when you compare a photo, it actually looks like it's almost a one-to-one similar. That's exactly where the tables are, maybe just in different spots, different positions, but the chairs look identical, the shape of the church looks identical, the layout, everything like that, in my opinion, looks exactly the same. So more than likely, maybe they could reuse that, or maybe Liberty Falls is like pre-teasing at what's to come before the Black Ops 2 storyline comes in. Maybe while Terminus Island is set to expand and explain the storyline and actually go through the storyline for what's going on right now in Black Ops 6, Liberty Falls is setting up for the future for Black Ops 2. And if you guys remember, according to leakers, in 2025, the next Call of Duty that we get is going to be a remake of Black Ops 2, and maybe they're trying to tie that in with the zombie storyline. That way we move into a smooth transition into Black Ops 2. But what are your thoughts and opinions on this? But other than that, there's also some new items. So let's talk about the actual Liberty Falls map and what to expect from that. Number one is there is the jet gun weapon that's going to be coming back. That was also a weapon that was available in Transit. You were able to get it by collecting a bunch of different parts. Unfortunately, on Transit, you were only able to use it for such a limited amount of uses that it didn't even feel like it was worth collecting the parts to begin with. But at the same time, maybe this time around, they'll do it in a much better way. We do know that we're getting probably the best features from every zombies, and hopefully they make it to where the parts will last a little bit longer. Maybe you don't need as much parts, or maybe you'll have the opportunity to, like, say, pack-a-punch it or use some of the augments to increase the power, so that way it'll last a little bit longer. It looks like this may be the exclusive weapon to Liberty Falls, because throughout the entire gameplay, we never got to see the jet gun over on Terminus, but they're showing it within like the first 2 seconds of the trailer for Liberty Falls. So that's going to be the exclusive major weapon for that. And that sort of once again teases that maybe they did take some parts from Transit, because that was a Transit weapon. But on top of that, there's also something else. It looks like there's also going to be a Dark Aether teleporter. So you're going to be able to enter the Dark Aether, and it looks like maybe the map is going to get extended in that sort of way, because we already know that the map is not going to be that big because it's just a small town. This is going to give the opportunity to expand it. Maybe by doing some sort of quest, you'll be able to activate and open it up, and that will start connecting you to the storyline. Maybe that's how the crew is going to connect from Terminus Island, pretty much escape in that way through the Dark Aether Rift and head in, and then come out over by Liberty Falls. It looks like they also are tied to Project Janus as well, so maybe Richtofen could be available here. We know he's not available on Terminus Island. They're out there looking for him. The only other spot that he could potentially be at is probably Liberty Falls. Maybe he ended up going out there to check on this incursion of zombies or something like that. He probably has something to do with that. But what are your thoughts and opinions based on what we've seen so far? More than likely, Liberty Falls is going to be the first zombies map that you're going to get to play, because remember, there's rumors of early access coming into zombies, which I'll probably make a more dedicated video on. And if there is going to be a zombies map that you're going to get to play, it's going to end up being Liberty Falls. They also did confirm that over on Call of Duty Next, they're not going to be playing Terminus Island, but they're actually going to be playing Liberty Falls. It looks like that's more of the map that people will be able to play without necessarily ruining or spoiling the storyline, because they don't want people to play Terminus Island and then start running up the Easter eggs and then end up, you know, discovering or spoiling something before people even get their hands on the game. Anyways, that's pretty much all that I got for you guys in today's video. What are your thoughts and opinions on this? Are you guys excited for zombies? We got 2 maps available on day 1, and according to leakers, there's even going to be more maps coming in. It looks like probably every single season they're going to be introducing another brand new round-based zombies map. So even if you're not a fan of any of these 2 maps after you get to play them and try them out, season 1 is going to start this upcoming December, which is just a couple months after, and then you'll be able to play a 3rd round-based zombies map. So I feel like the amount of content is never going to go stale. It's never going to go dry. I was able to play Shadows of Evil for years, as well as Transit. So I feel like if they do make a good zombies map, it can last for years to come. come. And the fact is, every couple months they're bringing in a brand new one. It's just going to give us so much to do and so much content to explore. But anyways, that's all that I got for you guys in this one. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you found the video helpful or informative, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. We're going to be talking a little bit more about multiplayer campaign and other things like that. If there's anything else you guys want to see, comment it down below. But it's been your boy Chizo, and hopefully I'll be seeing you guys again. Peace.